Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video, a very quick one, but a very cool one, if I may. Thank you all the members, all the patrons, make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 50,000 subscribers, and let's get into it. So, this was shown by Smin. So, he basically answered about the feedback, about the people complaining about the Su-39, Su-25T, and he basically said that we are following your comments and wanted to clarify that the Su-25T will not be the last or final variant of the Su-25 in the researchable branch in the future. We plan additional variants which will also supersede the Su-39 in terms of capabilities and provide the best versions of the aircraft within the main tech tree, or the main tree, right? The Su-39 coming was the variant of the Su-25 taken to shows and exhibitions intended for export sales, hence why it will be a premium. More advanced versions of the aircraft will come to the trade in the future. So yes, basically he's confirming that although the Su-39 might be added right now as the best variant of these aircraft, in the future we will probably see variants that are just better, right? And what are those variants, if you ask me, right? I wanted to talk about that, because the Su-39, it is a very advanced version of the Su-25. I mean, it's a version that got even the ability to actually shoot R-77s and anti-ship missiles and anti-radiation missiles, everything like that. All that the Su-25T can do, but more, you know? So it is just a very interesting aircraft. And to be honest, I'm starting to kinda agree why they are actually adding it as a premium. Seeing the history of these aircraft and noting that it's problematic to actually add these aircraft as a tech tree just due to that fact. Which is kind of a double standard if you ask me, because I mean, the Object 435, I will never understand why they are adding that as a tech tree vehicle and not another version or of a prototype, or even like a production version of tanks that can be fitting these gap between the T10 and the T64A, right? But still, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Su-25. So they are saying that the Su-25TM or the Su-39 will not be the later, the most modern version of the Su-25. So what is this version? To be honest, there isn't much else to be added apart from, I mean, if it's actually Soviet or Russian afterwards, there is basically only one aircraft. I'm not going to include the Su-25KM, which is a Georgian version, which has partnerships with the Elbit systems. They are actually made, apparently, on Tbilisi, so inside Georgia, which is pretty alright if you ask me. And then there is minor versions, prototypes, and all sorts of things that we're gonna, it doesn't make sense to come to War Thunder, right? The one that I wanted to talk about is the Su-25SM. It is a very interesting aircraft. It is being used right now in a certain war. It was used in the Middle East, right? So it is an aircraft that it is basically a modernization of the Su-25, the original ones, right? It means basically Stroyevoy Modernizirovanny, I think it is, or something like that. And it is basically an affordable upgrade program to the normal Su-25, right? So the older ones. They basically evaluated that the Su-25T and TM upgrades were just too over-sophisticated and expensive. And remember, the Su-25, the objective of this aircraft is actually to be massively produced and be cheap to operate. So yeah, basically they extended the frog foot life with that and had more additional things like navigation systems, attack suite of just having a better, you know, system overall, better digital computers to plan and basically attack targets. So it has basically more modern systems, navigation, attack, RWRs. It has the Pastel RWR, the L150, right? It has basically just overall just a more modern version of the Su-25. MFDs, but the weapon systems are basically the same, right? There are the KH-25MLs, the KH-29Ls, as guided weapons. It has the ability to carry the R-73. I mean, it still has the normal Grisha 30mm, right, double cannon. So it is basically the same aircraft as the normal Su-25, but just better. And it's not really the variant that I wanted to talk about, because it is pretty much in-game, it would be basically the same, you know? Just laser-guided stuff and just more modern missiles if they are going to add the R-73 for it. But it could be a very cool aircraft to be added, nonetheless. Has cool skins and different cockpits, so it would be cool. But yeah, apparently in the early 2000s, they started to be operated. They say that according to the most sources, 60 to 70% of the Russian Air Force active single-seat version of the Su-25 operating are SMs. So they're just the normal aircraft, but modern, right? But there is a package of a modernization for this SM that it's the real deal. This is the actual Su-25 SM3. This is the one that I wanted to really talk about, because not only has the normal upgrades done to the SM, 25 of these aircraft have been already delivered as of 2019. So it is a very modern version of the Su-25. But the thing is that it uses the SALT-25 electro-optical system. So it actually is, of course, a laser rangefinder and target designator, but it has thermals. So thermal imager, TV channels and stuff, ability to track moving targets and everything like that. So it is basically making the normal Su-25s very similar to the T variants, but even more with thermals, you know? So it is very, very much interesting system. It apparently has the BTBS K-25 protection suit, and it basically has MAL systems, you know, together with the Pastel RWR, a better version of the Pastel. So it is basically a very modern and very survivable Su-25. That would be the main thing about it. It has better chaff and flare dispensers, you know, radar jamming pods, everything like that. And yeah, it's just a very, very modern version of the Su-25, even using the SVT-24 navigation and bombing aids. That basically it's a very advanced CCRP method of dropping non-guided bombs. So it is very, very cool, and hopefully this thing will be added. I mean, I don't think we need another version of the Su-25T, but I'm hoping that something like this would be added against like an A-10C or something like that in the future, along, I don't know, next year maybe or something like that, just for us to actually get something that it's not a premium to be better than the premium, right? Because if they're going to add just the Su-39, I mean, not that we need, that's the thing. I mean, it's kind of like, it's a double standard even, because, I mean, I don't want the Soviets to be like OP, right? But it would be cool to see a better version than a premium, right? So this would provide us with that. Not right now, I'm not saying to be added right now, obviously, but it is cool to just talk a little bit about it. It would be an early 2000s to like today kind of modification, just like the A10C is kind of, right? So yeah, thermals, TV guided stuff. I mean, it would be just the most advanced version. Of course, remember, this still uses the old engines, the R95SH. So this engine is actually weaker than the one in the T variants, but still, it would be very, very cool. Other than that, I really doubt that we will see anything else. So, I don't know, kind of weird, but this is the version that I think will be added in the future. And this is the version that I think Smin is talking about, right? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, and I see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys. See ya.